Good evening, my fellow Americans. The Saints have risen to the top of the highest office of the land, the President of the United States. And then aliens attack. This is Saints Row 4. So we're now up to the fourth iteration of the Saints Row series, and it has certainly progressed into something else. And Saints Row 4 is definitely the pinnacle of what the series is now, and now it's really unique. The series first started out as obviously like a GTA Grand Theft Auto ripoff, and it kind of progressed more into absurdity. And like I said, Saints Row 4 really takes the cake. In Saints Row 4, once again, you're like the leader of the 3rd Street Saints gang of the fictional city Steelport. However, throughout the games, the gang becomes celebrities, and in Saints Row 4, you end up becoming the President of the United States, which is ridiculous, and it works. It's perfect and it's unique. The initial setup of the game, you start out, you're the President of the United States, you're a hotshot because you're a gang member. It's ridiculous. And then aliens invade, and then that's where the game really kicks off in a surprisingly Matrix-influenced, but also absurd, over-the-top type of game. You're on a mission to rid the world of the Zin Empire alien control and to get back the members of your gang that were captured by the evil leader of the aliens. But the problem is you're stuck in a AI virtual construct of Steelport, the city from all the other games. And this is where it kind of comes into play with the Matrix in how you can manipulate the game world however you want. You get powers, you throw fireballs, you have telekinesis, you can run super fast, you can jump tall buildings in a single bound, and it is absolutely a blast. While all the stuff from Saints Row that you know and love is there, all the mini games, the driving, the carjacking, the running around with your gang homies, it really does feel a lot like Crackdown now, and that is certainly not a bad thing. I think Saints Row 4 is actually a type of the spiritual successor to the original Crackdown that we deserved but never really got. And I'm not talking about Crackdown 2 because that wasn't very good. There's an awesome sense of ownership and progression with your character who you customize, you buy cool stuff for, you get insane weapons for, which you can also upgrade and change the way they look. You can get Han Solo's blasters. You can get your handguns to look like Han Solo's guns. How cool is that? You also can level up your health, your abilities, your driving, your superpowers, and it really gives the game an awesome sense of satisfaction and progression that makes you not be able to put the controller down. You'll find yourself running around the city for hours, collecting orbs to level up your abilities, running around doing side missions. This is the most chock-full Saints Row game I've seen, and actually probably one of the more chock-full open-world games I've seen in a while as well. While the weapons are customizable and you can make them look really cool, the big selling point is the guns themselves and what they do. While you do have the run-of-the-mill machine guns, shotguns, baseball bats, stuff like that, there are new additions like the dubstep gun, which is absolutely hilarious. It shoots dubstep at people and makes them break dance, and cars jump up and down, and then everybody dies. There's also a gun that shoots bouncy balls, a gun that inflates people into balloons, and then they blow up. There's all kinds of stuff. You can have a gun that makes people get abducted by aliens. It's absolutely insane, and it's a lot of fun. I think Saints Row 4 is the actual true definition of a sandbox open world game, in that you are in a sandbox. You're a little kid with a bunch of toys, and it's an absolute blast to play with all of them. Now, Saints Row 4 is a really big game, and the one caveat, I think, is that it does feel a little glitchy from time to time. The game actually, since you're in a virtual world, they kind of make it look like glitches are supposed to happen, but of course there's regular glitches abound here and there. Also, something I didn't like is that the game world for most of the game is almost always dark or sunset. It just gives the game kind of like an ugly, permanent dark feel that kind of gets old after a while, but I'm okay with that. And then one other thing that, some people might not be into is the fact that you are basically invincible in this game. Obviously, you have health and things happen, and there are some challenging mini-bosses and stuff like that. But for the most part, there's not a huge sense of challenge. Honestly, more of the challenge comes in with the mini-games and stuff like that. But the main quest, you kind of just power your way through as this superhuman awesome guy. It's kind of like the Superman complex, It's like, how do you make it really challenging when you're the best thing in the world? But other than that, the game is wildly entertaining. The story is freaking hilarious. Keith David is in the game as Keith David, which is hilarious. And also, when you customize your character, you can pick Nolan North to voice your character. It's really funny because it's like voice 1, voice 2, voice female, voice male, and then Nolan North. And of course, he's the voice actor that everybody knows and loves as Nathan Drake and a million other characters in video games. And it's completely self-aware and hilarious. And I was actually laughing out loud for a lot of this game because of stuff like that. You can also play through most of the game with a friend, which works fantastically when it doesn't lag, because having two friends in a big city with superpowers, again, I hate to say it, but it is like Crackdown. You know, seeing your friend shoot ice balls at someone and throwing cars at each other, or teaming up, and you know, there's deathmatch and co-op. It's awesome. I couldn't get enough of it. But overall, I can really honestly recommend Saints Row 4, especially if you love the third one, and maybe even if you weren't too keen on the third one. Saints Row 4 takes the whole series to completely different heights. So that's what I think of Saints Row 4. If you like this review, you can check out other reviews, such as a review for Rise of the Triad, the first-person shooter. You can also check out a review if you like senseless violence. You can check out a review for Hotline Miami. And if you really like senseless violence and superpower stuff like this, you can check out our review of the movie Kick-Ass 2. But most importantly, guys, let me know what you guys think about Saints Row 4 in the comments. Let's talk about it. What's your favorite ability? What's your favorite thing to do in the game? And if you haven't played it yet, what's the first thing you're going to do in the game world with the vast amount of powers that you have? So let me know anything you want about Saints Row 4, and that's pretty much it.